I found a locked collar in my husband's car. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I simply flushed the key down the toilet. The next day, he made the news. Wrapped around a utility pole. Chapter 01. When I found that collar in my husband's car, I was stunned. It wasn't like a normal pet collar. It was thicker, made of stainless steel. There was a small lock at the clasp, welded to a long chain. The chain's end also had a locking clasp. But we don't have a dog. Joel was bitten by a dog as a kid. Even now, he still trembles when he sees one. There's no way he'd ever let a dog near his car. And seriously, what kind of normal person uses that kind of collar on a dog? On top of that, the collar was hidden deep under the driver's seat. If I hadn't gotten down to look for my earring, I never would have found it. The more I thought about it, the more off it felt. I quickly grabbed my phone and did an image search. The result almost made me throw my phone across the car. It's for humans? A custom-made one? My first instinct was, no way this belongs to Joel. We've been married 7 years. Our kid is 5. If anyone knows what kind of man Joel is, it's me. He's so old school that even trying a different position in bed makes him blush and stammer. Someone like that could never be into this stuff. So then, whose is it? What kind of disgusting friend would leave something like that in Joel's car? I needed to find out, so I opened the dashcam recordings. But the screen said, memory card full. The latest footage was from 3 months ago, showing Joel driving our son to kindergarten. He probably disabled the loop recording by accident. Men and their careless habits. Thankfully nothing serious happened lately, otherwise, we'd be screwed. I re-enabled the loop recording and set it to automatically sync with my phone. After that, I took a photo of the collar and put it back exactly where I found it. When I go upstairs, I'm going to ask Joel, and he'd better give me a straight answer. Chapter 02. Just as I opened the door to the house, I saw Joel walk out, rubbing his sleepy eyes. Babe, where did you go so early in the morning? Changing my shoes, I replied casually. Took our son to your mom's place. What? How did you get there? Joel's voice suddenly spiked, startling me. What kind of weird question was that? Obviously I drove. It's early. You expect me to wait for a cab on the street with a child? Joel's face changed instantly, his voice laced with suppressed annoyance. Why did you touch my car without telling me first? A wave of anger rushed straight to my chest. It was the weekend. I'd planned to sleep in for once, but just before dawn, his mom called, saying she missed her grandson so much, she couldn't even eat, and insisted I bring him over today. Joel slept like a dead pig beside me. He'd been working late every night, so I didn't have the heart to wake him. I got our half-asleep kid dressed, packed his bag, and left the house without even drinking a sip of water. And now he's questioning me the moment I return? Seriously? I was shaking with rage. Joel, do I need to file a request with you in advance now? I saw you came home at 3 a.m. from work. I just wanted to let you sleep a little longer. Is that a crime now? Joel seemed to realize he'd overreacted. He quickly reached out to hug my shoulders, rushing to explain. Babe, that's not what I meant. His eyes darted to the car keys I just set down by the door. I was just worried about you. You don't usually drive. And I was nervous about you and the kid being safe. I brushed off his hand in silence. He pressed his palms together, pleading pitifully. Please, babe. I was half asleep. Forgive me, will you? Seeing him like that, most of my anger faded. Whatever. Not worth arguing, especially since I had more important things to ask. Just as I was about to bring up the collar, Joel beat me to it. Babe, you didn't touch anything else in the car, did you? That sentence, my heart sank instantly. Joel, you're hiding something, aren't you? Chapter 03. I stared straight into his eyes. No, why? Are you hiding someone in the car? Joel's lashes fluttered rapidly, and he avoided my gaze. His thumb began rubbing his index finger, a nervous tic he always had when anxious. Haha. Babe, you're so funny. His laugh was stiff and unnatural. It's just that I was in a rush after work yesterday. Some important documents are still in the car, as long as you didn't touch them. It's fine. I stayed silent. still watching him. Tiny beads of sweat started to form on his forehead. Suddenly, he leaned in close and buried his face in the crook of my neck. Warm breath brushed behind my ear. Babe. His hand slowly slipped around my waist. Since the kid's not home, how about we? My body instantly stiffened. Ever since our son was born, we'd barely been intimate. In the past 6 months, every time I tried getting close, he either claimed to be too tired from work or pretended to be asleep. The last time was half a year ago, after I threatened divorce. Even then, he barely made an effort and it was over in minutes. To save his pride, I never initiated again. Now, with his palm resting on my waist, I felt inexplicably uncomfortable. I finally pushed him away, just dropped off the kid. I'm exhausted. Maybe next time. Joel pulled back immediately. A subtle relief appeared at the corner of his mouth. All right. I'll take a nap then. So tired. As the bedroom door shut, I heard him sigh in relief. Chapter 04. 30 minutes later, Joel was snoring steadily in the bedroom. My eyes drifted to the phone he had tossed carelessly onto the coffee table. To check or not to check? The thought coiled around my mind like a venomous snake. In our 7 years of marriage, I'd never gone through his phone, never even thought about it. That's probably why he always left it lying around so casually. His lock screen password had always been my birthday. I used to believe it was a symbol of total trust between us. Was I really about to break that trust myself? In the end, I picked up the phone. The screen lit up, my heart pounded so hard it hurt. I quickly scanned through his recent messages. Nothing unusual. No hotel bookings either. Had I been overthinking? But then why did he act so weird earlier? After hesitating, I installed a syncing app on Joel's phone. My best friend had paid a fortune to get it developed. It mirrors all incoming messages and allows real-time location tracking. Her husband's a notorious player, so she's always looking for ways to keep tabs on him. When she first shared the app with me, I swore I'd never use it. Joel would never cheat. I told her, he doesn't even add female coworkers on WeChat. But now? Yeah, I'm eating my words. Still, deep down, I was hoping I was just being paranoid. Chapter 05. It was around midnight. I lay in bed, unable to sleep. Joel was uncharacteristically quiet too. No usual snoring from his side of the bed. Suddenly, his phone lit up. That blue glow pierced the darkness like a blade. I squinted and saw Joel quietly get dressed and leave the room. As soon as he gently closed the door behind him, I grabbed my phone. The surveillance app had already synced the new message. Joel, there's an emergency with the project. Come back to the office ASAP. From Victor. It really was about work. Nothing suspicious on the surface. Maybe I was overthinking things, but I couldn't shake the unease in my chest, so I followed him. 20 minutes later, Joel's car stopped in front of his office building. I was about to relax and head home. Then I saw Joel step out of the car, holding that collar. Under the streetlight, the steel gleamed sharply. I watched as he looked around cautiously, then hurried toward a public restroom around the corner. I followed him, hiding in the shadows nearby. About 10 minutes later, someone came out. A woman in tight leather and a face mask, walking a dog. But that wasn't a dog. That was my husband, Joel. He looked blissfully dazed, the collar snug around his neck. The woman bent down and stroked his head. Joel rubbed up against her high heels like an obedient pet. The chain rattled softly. Chapter 06. Late night. The silence was deafening. I could hear every single word they said. You dirty mutt. Playing near the office now? Not scared someone'll see? The woman's teasing voice rang out. Joel swayed on all fours, panting. Cameras, haha, the cameras are broken. His breathing grew erratic. His tongue lolled grotesquely. Take off the mask, let your filthy mutt see his queen. The woman, reassured by the lack of surveillance, lowered her guard, with fingers painted in bright red polish. She slowly tugged off her mask. When her familiar face was finally revealed under the streetlight, my knees buckled. I nearly collapsed. It was Lily, my son's kindergarten teacher. No wonder Joel always insisted on personally dropping our son off. No matter how busy he was, I thought he was being considerate, trying to help out. I was touched, so damn touched. And this is what it really was? Thinking of Joel fooling around with our son's teacher, right under our kid's nose, a violent wave of nausea surged up my throat. I slapped a hand over my mouth. I was going to be sick. It was revolting. Still, I forced myself to keep watching. Lily twisted the chain around her fingers and yanked it tight around Joel's neck, leaving a nasty red welt. Oscar's daddy. Aren't you afraid Oscar's mommy will find out how desperate you are? Joel's face contorted from the mix of pain and pleasure. That dead fish woman, even looking at her makes me gag. I can't even get hard. Lily snorted and lifted his chin with her stiletto. Then why don't you just divorce her? She takes care of the kid, serves my mom. She's basically a free nanny, still somewhat useful. And me? You're my queen. Joel pressed his face against her heels like he was in heaven. Lily kicked him hard. TSK, TSK. You were really born to be a filthy mutt. Joel's eyes gleamed. Please punish your naughty little dog. Woof, woof, woof. As they walked off, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I ran into the public restroom and threw up until my whole world spun. Chapter 07. I splashed my face with cold water. The woman in the mirror had bloodshot eyes. In the middle of the night, inside a public restroom, she looked terrifying. But in this world, there are things far scarier than ghosts, like the human heart. I took a deep breath, then began carefully searching every corner of the restroom. Finally, in the janitor's supply closet, I found a black trash bag inside a mop bucket. Inside were Joel's clothes and 2 little silver keys. So you really enjoy being a dog? Then let me help you live it fully. I picked up the keys and dropped them into a toilet in one of the stalls. Only after they'd fully disappeared down the swirling drain did I take the clothes and walk out of the restroom. Meanwhile, those 2 were still parading around the street, trying to avoid the patrolling security guard, while also parading Joel on a leash like it was the most natural thing. He looked thrilled, even barked out a few woofs now and then. An hour later, they finally decided to head home. Joel was beaming, clearly unsatisfied. He even walked up to a utility pole by the building and lifted his leg to pee. Lily laughed so hard she nearly fell over, then casually clipped the end of the leash to the pole. Stay here like a good little dog. I'll go grab the keys. Woof! Joel grinned wide, tongue hanging out, eyes gleaming with pure ecstasy. He was absolutely loving the public humiliation. I couldn't help but smile too. Go ahead and laugh. You won't be laughing in a minute. 10 minutes later, Lily ran out of the restroom in a panic, her face full of horror. Joel, the clothes and keys are gone. They're gone. Chapter 08. Joel's face turned ghostly pale the moment he heard those words. His whole body began to tremble. This time, it wasn't excitement, it was fear. That's impossible. Look again. Maybe you missed it? Lily stomped her feet in frustration. I looked everywhere. I even lifted the damn toilet lid. Who the hell took the stuff? Joel yanked at the collar chain around his neck, but it was solid as ever. He couldn't break free. His voice cracked, almost in tears. What do we do now? We can't open it without the keys. Do something. The 2 of them spun around in circles, panicking. Meanwhile, I calmly adjusted my phone's zoom. Crystal clear, sweat glistening on their foreheads, their trembling fingers, the red bruises on Joel's neck, all in HD. I casually uploaded a post on a gossip forum, attaching their exact location and a few spicy keywords. After 10 minutes of futile struggle, the chain remained intact. Lily bit her lip, clearly reaching a decision. She picked up a nearby rock. Joel, hold still, I'm gonna break the lock and get you out. The utility pole was too wide. The chain had wrapped around it once, so the lock was wedged right against Joel's throat, which meant his head was basically pinned to the pole. Joel stared at the rock in her hand, horrified. Jay, just be careful, don't hit my carotid artery. Lily inhaled deeply. She squinted, aiming at the lock, but her hand shook at the last second. Crack! The rock hit Joel's skull. Aya! He let out a blood-curdling scream. What the hell? Why'd you hit me so hard? Blood trickled down his face from his forehead. Lily replied, righteously, how am I supposed to break the lock without strength? So are we doing this or not? If not, I'm leaving. She pretended to walk away. Wait! Joel whimpered, his voice thick with sobs. Jay, just aim better this time. Please. I'll try. This time. Lily's eyes bulged wide as saucers, just as she brought the rock down. Hey! What the hell are you doing? A sudden shout startled her. Her hand jerked mid-swing. Crack! The rock slammed into Joel's head again. Joel shrieked in agony. But Lily wasn't paying attention anymore. Someone was approaching. Terrified, she turned and bolted. Joel screamed after her in pain. Wait! Don't leave me! At least give me something to wear. Lily dug into her pocket and tossed a crumpled face mask on the ground. Joel picked it up, trembling. For a moment, he didn't even know what part of his body to cover first. Chapter 09. The security guard jogged over. When he saw the scene in front of the utility pole, it was like he got struck by lightning. He even rubbed his eyes hard, as if afraid it was all just a hallucination. Be boss. His voice was filled with disbelief. Joel finally figured out where to place the face mask. He scrambled to cover his face and clutched his crotch with his other hand. You've got the wrong guy. I'm not your boss. But the guard was a simple, honest man. He yanked the mask off Joel's face and stuffed it into his own pocket. Sir, I salute you every morning. How could I be wrong? He looked completely puzzled. But, boss, what exactly are you doing? Suddenly, the guard slapped his forehead. Enlightened. I get it now. Someone must have done this to you, right? Some kind of revenge? Joel nodded frantically. The chain rattled loudly with the motion. Yes. Yes. Help me get this damn lock off. The guard walked around the pole, rubbing his chin. Dom, who wrapped this chain so tight? Like you're a damn hog at a village fair. This is serious, boss. I gotta call the cops. He started reaching for his phone. No, please. No. Joel's voice cracked in panic, sweat pouring down his forehead. I'll pay you. 10 grand, no. 20, just keep this quiet. The guard's eyes lit up. A big grin spread across his sun-darkened face. Deal. Wait right here. I'll grab my tools and get you out. Just as the guard left, Joel hadn't even taken a full breath. A burst of excited footsteps and shrill screaming echoed from the distance. Joel was about to lose his mind. God damn it. Why are there so many people out tonight? The flashes of countless phone cameras blinded him. He curled up as tight as he could, trying to melt into the utility pole. Guys, come look! It's real. Massive gossip drop right here. Holy shit! Is this a kink thing? Pole play? Gifts. Guys! It's 2 a.m. and this streamer is risking their life for the juiciest scoop. Turn around. Dude, 10,000 viewers in the stream are waiting to greet you. I had clearly underestimated the public's hunger for drama. Who would have thought just one post would bring in this many people? Joel was now completely surrounded by live streamers and gossip-hungry spectators. Someone even brought a ladder, just to make sure their camera wouldn't get blocked. When the guard came back with bolt cutters, he was stunned. He couldn't even get close. In the end, the chaos drew the attention of the police. By the time the firemen cut the chain, Joel had lost every ounce of dignity. The next day, he made the news, together with the utility pole. Chapter 10. Just when I thought Joel was finally going to be utterly disgraced, things took an unexpected turn. At the hospital, Joel was lying on the bed, his forehead wrapped in gauze, his face pale. In front of the camera, his eyes were red, his voice choked with emotion. I really don't know who I offended. I was just heading to the office to grab some files, and before I could go in, someone hit me from behind. He paused just long enough, as if barely suppressing overwhelming humiliation. When I woke up, I was all ready. The surveillance cameras in the area just happened to be broken. The police said it's difficult to collect evidence. He gave a bitter smile and shook his head slightly. But I don't want to pursue it anymore. Maybe the attacker just acted on impulse. I just don't want this to affect my family. As he said the word family, tears streamed down his face. He instinctively wiped the corners of his eyes and bowed deeply to the camera. Please, if you want to mock someone, mock me alone. My wife and child are innocent, and my company has nothing to do with any of this. As soon as the emotional interview aired, Public opinion flipped instantly. The hashtag per Joel skyrocketed to #1 trending. Comments poured in. I cried. That line about not letting it affect his family really hit me. That's a real man. I went to school with him. He's honestly a super family-oriented guy. He must have been set up. And the attacker chose a time when the cameras were down. That's terrifying. Who did he offend? Random passerby here. But something's fishy. If it were really revenge, why not just report it? Refusing to press charges feels suspicious. But that last comment quickly got buried. Joel's company jumped on the viral moment, releasing a PR announcement the very next day. In light of Mr. Joel's recent trauma, the company has granted him 1 month of paid leave and will be reinforcing security across the campus. They even attached a collage of Joel's Employee of the Year awards from previous years. Joel seized the opportunity and launched a personal video channel. His first post? Lying in a hospital bed. Weak but brave. Sharing his tips for coping with online harassment. The video hit over 1 million likes in no time. The comment section was filled with endless encouragement and support. I turned off my phone with a cold laugh. How ironic. A cheating piece of trash turned into the internet's most beloved victim overnight. But honestly, this works perfectly in my favor. Ever since our son was born, Joel made me quit my job to raise him full-time. With no stable income, it'll be hard to win custody. I need time to prepare. So let the storm build a little longer. After all, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Chapter 11. Joel really does have a short memory for pain. The scabs on his neck hadn't even fully healed. And yet he was already at it again. Barely 2 weeks had passed since the incident, and my phone monitoring app had once again picked up a new chat thread between him and Lily. Joel, baby, I missed you so much. I need you to treat me right. Lily, aren't you worried your wife will get suspicious? Isn't she taking care of you every day now? Joel, that pig? Ha, she's crying her eyes out, rubbing my wounds in pity. What a dumbass. Lily, you're so bad. I'm gonna have to punish you for that. Joel, tomorrow I'll drop Oscar off early at school. Let's meet in the parking lot. Never tried it on school grounds before. Joel was a public figure now. They couldn't risk checking into hotels, so they snuck around in his car. But the thought of my husband getting trained by Lily right after dropping off our son at preschool made me nauseous. After the in-car lesson, Joel still wasn't satisfied. He leaned into Lily's ear and whispered something. Lily gasped, eyes wide. You want to go that far? What if someone catches us? Joel's face flushed with excitement. Relax. I did my research. It's an abandoned factory. No people. No cameras. Lily still hesitated. I don't know. That's kinda twisted. Joel smirked. Didn't you want that designer bag? I'll buy it for you when we're done. Her eyes lit up. Ooh, then I won't go easy on you. Please don't. The harder, the better. They finally came to an agreement, and I couldn't help but smile. It's been a long time coming, but now, it's time to close the net. I'm really looking forward to it. Chapter 12. 2 days later, Saturday morning, before dawn had even broken, Joel crept out of bed. So early? Where are you going? I rubbed my eyes, pretending to be groggy, facing away from me while getting dressed. He couldn't hide the thrill in his voice. Meeting some friends to go fishing at the reservoir. Signal's bad there, so I might miss your calls. Okay, be careful. Go back to sleep. Babe, I'll catch you a big fish tonight. He kissed my forehead and walked out. Half an hour later, I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, adjusting my expression carefully. Red eyes, trembling lips. I'd practiced every detail many times. At the police station, officer, please help. My husband's been kidnapped. I rushed in wearing slippers, not even bothering to change shoes. This is footage from my husband's dashcam. I pushed the phone toward the officer. On screen, Joel, tightly bound, writhing in the trunk of a car in visible agony. And behind the wheel, Lily, leather jacket, cap, face mask. She looked exactly like a suspect from a true crime special. Right on cue. My tears began to fall. I called him over a dozen times, but his phone's off. He was attacked once before outside his company. What if it's the same person again? I grabbed the officer's sleeve. sobbing. Please, officer, my son is still so young. He can't lose his father. The officer's face grew increasingly serious, with Joel's purplish face on camera. Lily's suspicious outfit. Anyone would think this was a brutal kidnapping. Sirens ripped through the quiet dawn. I sat in the back of the police car, watching the scenery blur past. The lovers' phones were still off. They must be fully immersed in their little game right now. Huh? That thought made me clench my phone tighter. Almost there. Almost. Chapter 13. Inside the abandoned Jiaoshan scrapyard. When the police finally kicked open the door, this was the scene that greeted them. Joel, completely naked, tied to a rusty iron pillar. Clearly, he had a thing for poles. Lily was holding a leather whip in midair. Smack! A fresh red welt bloomed across Joel's skin. Don't move! Police! Startled, Lily jumped. The whip clattered to the floor. 2 officers rushed forward and slammed her to the ground. Joel spotted me and nearly popped his eyes out of their sockets. His mouth was stuffed with a pair of stockings, so he could only let out muffled groans. Honey! I screamed as I ran toward him. Don't be scared. I'm here to save you. My fingernails accidentally jabbed one of his open wounds. He gasped in pain, convulsing. I turned toward Lily, pinned on the ground, and shrieked in disbelief. Teacher? How could it be you? You kidnapped my husband? Lily shook her head wildly. No, it's not kidnapping. He begged me to do this. Ask him if you don't believe me. I looked at Joel in shock. Is that true? You asked for this? Instinctively, he shook his head. Officers. Look! I sobbed like a widow at a funeral. My husband just denied it. That's kidnapping, right? Minimum 10 years. No? Arrest her, please. Lily panicked completely, now screaming herself. No, it wasn't, Joel. Say something. She tried to get up, but the officers pressed her down harder. I turned to Joel, voice trembling. Darling, is this true? Joel looked away and weakly nodded. I pointed triumphantly. See? My husband agrees with me. Lily, Joel. Joel's muffled sobs grew louder. One officer sighed and removed the stockings from Joel's mouth. All right, talk. What's going on here? It wasn't kidnapping. I agreed to it. His voice grew quieter and quieter, until it was barely a whisper. What was that? I staggered back 2 dramatic steps. You're saying you voluntarily let our son's kindergarten teacher tie you up, strip you naked, and whip you? The police officers exchanged glances, trying hard not to smirk. Joel's face turned beet red. Keep your voice down. Is this something to shout about? I let out a shriek loud enough to crack windows. I want a divorce. I was furious. What rationality could a betrayed wife possibly have at a moment like this? Before the officers could react, I grabbed the whip off the floor and started lashing. Smack! 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 I aimed straight for his weakest spots. Within a few lashes, he was swollen like a purple eggplant. The police rushed over to stop me, but rage consumed me. My eyes rolled back and I fainted on the spot. The scene instantly descended into chaos. Chapter 14. We all got a stern lecture from the police. In the end, both sides agreed to settle the matter as a domestic dispute. But Joel's injuries were no joke. The doctor said he'd need at least 3 months of bed rest, and he'd have to use a catheter during that time. Yet he didn't blame me. He even knelt in front of me, begging for forgiveness. Honey, I was wrong. I really know I messed up. He clutched at my pants, tears and snot running down his face. I just wanted some excitement. I never had real feelings for her. I swear, my heart only belongs to you and our son. I remained unmoved, pulled a divorce agreement from my bag and slapped it in his face. Sign it. I'll take the kid. I'll take the money. You walk away with nothing. No, I'd rather die than divorce you. I calmly pulled out my phone, brought up the video from the warehouse, and waved it in front of his eyes. You sure? Want me to help you go viral? Executive caught in kink scandal with kindergarten teacher. How's that for a headline? In the end, Joel agreed to the divorce, but we renegotiated. I got full custody of our son. He kept the house, and we split the savings. I was satisfied. Truth is, I'd already transferred most of the joint account funds, bit by bit, into an education trust for our son. It's locked until he turns 18. Joel went ballistic when he saw the balance. But once he found out the money was for the kid, all he could do was sulk. Besides, he'll never know. This past year, I've made quite a bit through content creation. Originally, I planned to surprise him on his birthday. Now it's become a gift to myself. As for the house, he paid the down payment and still has to pay off the mortgage. He can keep it. The things that really mattered, I took those with me a long time ago. Chapter 15. The day the divorce cooling-off period ended. The weather was perfect. We walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, me in front, him behind. Right then, Joel's phone rang. It was Lily. Her voice was so shrill. I could hear every word from a few steps behind. Joel, our video's been leaked. Everyone's seen it. I lost my job. Joel whipped around and glared at me. You promised me you deleted that video. You even swore on our son's life. I smiled. I did, but I released a different one. His eyes widened in disbelief. I flagged down a taxi. Might want to check the trending searches. In the rearview mirror, Joel looked at his phone. Then he bolted, slamming his fists on the car window. Zoe, you bitch, get out of the car. The driver did a slick drift turn, sending Joel sprawling face-first on the pavement. TCH, scumbag. I pick up divorced couples all the time. Seen plenty like him. I smiled and opened Weibo. Trending topic number 1. Hashtag executive exposed pole scandal. It was the full video of Joel chained naked to the utility pole outside his company. The comments section was on fire. Holy crap. Give this man an Oscar already. I knew that collar looked custom made. This scandal just keeps giving. Same collar now 10% off on Taobao. Search hashtag LilyDog now. I turned off my phone and exhaled deeply. I'd held onto that video for a long time. Now, I could finally let it fly free. Chapter 16. Joel's calls came in one after another. I simply blocked his number. His company reacted swiftly. That very night, they issued a public statement on their official website. Following an emergency board meeting, all of Mr. Joel's positions within the company are hereby terminated effective immediately. So what if he kept the house? In his current state, there's no way he can afford the mortgage. Besides, I left him a little surprise. Over the past few weeks, I'd noticed something. Joel really loved his car. He said everything in it, did everything in it, and the dashboard camera stored all the juicy details. His flirty talk with Lily, shady deals with clients, even a lovely little conversation with his mom, plotting how to hide assets. That's when I learned Joel had never trusted me. For years, he'd been converting all his money into gold bars, hiding them in a safe behind the oil painting in the study. So, while he and Lily were busy playing kinky lovebirds, completely oblivious to the world, I quietly opened the safe. And wow, I was not prepared. All that sparkling gold nearly blinded me. Judging by today's market prices, it was worth millions. I suddenly forgave him for always whining about the company's poor performance and giving me just 5,000 yuan a month for living expenses. Turns out, he was saving up for a big gift for me. Hee. Those gold bars? They've all moved to my house. I just wonder how long it'll take for Joel to notice. Chapter 17. Lily and Joel moved in together. To be precise, after both got fired and became infamous online due to the viral video. They had no choice but to hide indoors. On the third day of their cohabitation, the doorbell rang. Joel thought it was food delivery, but as soon as he opened the door, 3 burly men barged in. The leader, covered in tattoos, dropped heavily onto the living room sofa, looking down at Joel like a king addressing a peasant. You Joel? Joel, still simmering with bottled-up rage, snapped. Who the hell are you? Breaking into my house? Wanna see me call the cops? The tattooed man burst into laughter and clapped his hands. Immediately, the 2 men behind him pounced, slamming Joel to the ground. Who is it? Why so loud? Lily walked out of the bedroom, groggy from sleep, and instantly went pale the moment she saw who it was. Her lips trembled. Kevin. Joel's eyes widened. You two know each other? Kevin placed a foot on Joel's back and sneered. I'm her legal husband. You two kinky clowns sure know how to have fun. Huh? That last dragged out ominously. He removed his foot. And the two goons instantly understood, kicking and punching Joel with practiced cruelty. Ah! Stop! Please! Joel curled up, shielding his head as screams echoed through the room. Lily tried to flee, but Kevin yanked her back by the arm. Then came the slaps, more than a dozen, left and right, until blood dripped from her lips. You slut! I was locked up and you're out screwing some stray? Kevin spat right in her face. Classy act. Huh? Tied to a utility pole? At his words, the beating intensified. The goons aimed for Joel's most sensitive spots. Kevin stood by giving orders. Yeah, that's the spot. Break it for me. As Joel was about to pass out, Kevin crouched and patted his face mockingly. Listen, pal, you sleep with my wife. You gotta pay for it, right? Lily sobbed nearby. Joel, just give him the money. He's killed before. Hearing that, Kevin ground his heel into Joel's fingers. You hear that? Pay up. I'll pay. I'll pay now. Joel was in tears and snot, shaking. I'll go get it right now. Kevin smirked. You think I'm stupid? We're going together. A flicker of malice flashed in Joel's eyes. Then forget it. You're not getting a single cent. Just kill me. Fine by me. Kevin stepped aside. You've got 10 minutes. If I don't see the cash, I'm throwing both of you out the window. Joel limped into the study, dragging one foot behind. He shut the door, took down the painting, and with trembling hands entered the safe's code. As the door clicked open, a scream tore from his throat. A scream, far louder than when he was being beaten. Chapter 18. Bang! 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 Kevin slammed his fist against the study door, growing increasingly impatient. You barking mutt, what the hell are you yelling for? Open up! Joel stared at the empty safe, his mind buzzing like a broken radio. That was his whole damn fortune. F***CK. Kevin lost it. He took 2 steps back. Bang! One flying kick, and the door crashed down. The 3 men stormed in. Joel was slumped in front of the wide-open safe, face pale as a ghost. You playing me, you little **T? Where's the money? Kevin grabbed him by the collar and hauled him up. Suddenly, Joel let out a wild scream. My money's gone. Someone stole it. I'm calling the cops. Call the cops. My ass. You messing with me? Veins bulged on Kevin's temple. Boys, beat him to death. With that order, the 2 thugs lunged at Joel. Fists rained down like a monsoon. At first, Joel could still cry out. Later, only faint groans escaped his lips. Boss, something's wrong. One of the goons suddenly paused and checked Joel's breathing. This guy's about to croak. Kevin cursed and motioned to stop. They quickly looted the room for any valuables, cash, phones, anything worth taking. But just as they reached the door, click, a pitch-black gun barrel pointed right at them. Police! Don't move! I was the one who called them. Sure, watching Joel get beaten on the surveillance feed was satisfying. But still, we were married once. I couldn't really just let him die, could I? It's just that I might have gotten a little too caught up in the show and called the cops a tiny bit too late. Chapter 19. In the police interrogation room, Kevin confessed everything. He was Lily's husband, had served time a few years ago for aggravated assault, hadn't been out a month. The moment he got out, he tried to contact Lily, only to find himself blocked on every platform. While scouring the city looking for her, a viral video popped up on his feed. Executive kindergarten teacher's BDSM scandal. Even the comment section had their home address exposed, so he followed the trail and came knocking. Of course, I wasn't the one who posted that comment. I just happened to be in a generous mood and bought a little ad boost for the video. Blame it on how smart the algorithm is these days. A few coins, and the content goes exactly where you want it. When I received the news of Joel's death, I was at home, helping our son build a Lego castle. He was too badly injured, didn't even make it to the operating room before his breath stopped. Lily survived, barely, but her pelvis was shattered. She'll spend the rest of her life in a wheelchair. The most ironic twist? My former mother-in-law. The moment she heard of Joel's death, she rushed to the hospital, grabbed an enforced stand, and started wailing on Lily. Midway through the beating, her blood pressure spiked, and she collapsed, paralyzed by a stroke. As for Kevin, charged with intentional injury resulting in death, a minimum of 15 years. In the end, my son, as Joel's sole legal heir, inherited that house. After all,